Chelsea, in theory, potentially, the Saints could be really good on offense, but there's a lot of what-ifs there.
Exactly. For taking a favorite, do you really want all of these words accompanying the team that you're choosing?
I know.
Potentially, maybe, in theory, if this receiver gets his head out of the gutter, this could be a good team. Is that a team you really want to take at the short price of plus 125? I think that's the biggest question. And I think for me, the answer is probably no, because, it could be a good team. Like you said, they do have some good pieces. I think Chris Olave is a nice receiver for them to base their offense around, but still, we don't know what we're getting from Michael Thomas. And plus, like I said, Derek Carr is not coming off a good season with the Raiders. There is a reason they let him go. They didn't treat him especially nicely on the way out, but still, a completion percentage of 60, had 14 interceptions, and it was a Raiders team that really struggled to win games. And also, do you think any of this is built in? The Saints' reputation as a franchise, because under their last head coach, who is no longer there, I feel like they were a very good squad under Sean Payton, just because he was an offensive genius. Are we thinking the same thing for Dennis Allen? Should we be giving them that credit in their division for, some pieces that are no longer there? Because for a long time, it was Drew Brees, Sean Payton, and that's a good tandem. But neither of those guys are there anymore. So do they deserve to be the entrenched favorites in the NFC South, especially at this price?
I think they do. And it's plus money. So now if this were minus money, I would say no way. But there is plus money involved. Again, they have the easiest schedule in the NFL. This division sucks, let's be honest. And also, I'll defend Derek Carr a little bit. He did throw for 24 touchdowns last year. And also, if you look at the situation with the Raiders, this is a guy who played under what? 4 different coordinators, 4 different offensive systems in 5 years. I don't care who you are, if you're a quarterback, particularly if you're a quarterback, if you're a running back, if you're a receiver. Look at Tyreek Hill. What did Tyreek Hill say last year? I didn't know the playbook. I came over from the Chiefs, and this guy is about as dynamic as it gets, and he was just relying on pure athleticism just to get open, just to find some space in the open field, take the football, and run. And that's why he predicted, I'm going to go for over 2,000 this year because I know the playbook. So if you're a quarterback and no one needs to know the playbook like the quarterback, clearly, I can't imagine going through that many different offensive systems in such a short period of time. And also, I think sneakily, people forget John Gruden is working with the Saints as a quarterback consultant. So I think that will help mitigate some of those issues. You're right about Sean Payton and Drew Brees. You're not going to find a better combination than that. But I do give Derek Carr credit. He is an upgrade over Andy Dalton. And also, you just keep coming back to the fact this is such a weak division. Any other division, I would say, I don't know. But in this division, where your quarterbacks are who? A rookie, Bryce Young, hasn't taken a snap. Desmond Ridder, and who else? Baker Mayfield. I think that's why I'm not as negative on the Saints as maybe you are, because it's plus money and they have the superior quarterback.
Let's look down the list. Are there any players that we have not mentioned? I know that you have been high on Ricky Fowler over the past few tournaments. Are you still a Ricky girl going into the Open?
Yeah, Ricky is my guy. He's won me some money as of late, but I'm actually not on Ricky Fowler this week, and I don't really have a good reason as to why. Like, I'm definitely not going to talk anyone down on Ricky Fowler because it feels like he's back. Right? 100%. And talk about one of the most likable dudes on tour. If you bet on him, he's so easy to root for, which is always fun when you're betting on guys you actually like. But I really love Cam Smith this week, and I bet him right after the U.S. Open. So got a little bit of a better number on Caesars. Got him at 18-1. Last time I checked, he was down to 16-1, the former Open champion. And it just feels like when Cam Smith is on, he's really on. The pressure never really gets to him. This Australian is so laid back. What I used to play Cam Smith a lot in the last year or so before he went to the Live Golf was Top Australian, and that was cashing every single week, it felt like, until some of these books started to adjust. But he has one of the best short games in the world. His creativity around the greens is next level. Not that that's super important this week, because honestly, I don't think at a link style golf course, your creativity around the greens, like there's not a lot of rough. Like if you want, you can pull out a Texas wedge, and that means it's just a putter 50 yards out, which I love to do. So I get that, but he's also really good at majors. I mean, this year alone, T34th at the Masters, T9th at the PGA Championship, US Open finished 4th, and that was back in June with a final round of 67. I honestly think at the US Open, if he had like, let's say another 9-12 holes to play, give me another back 9 for Cam Smith, and he would have been winning that major championship. So we don't get to play the Australian very much. So when we do, I definitely like to take advantage, and don't panic if he doesn't get off to the best start, because it feels like he really comes into form on Sunday. I mean, PGA Championship final round 65, US Open final round 67. So love Cam Smith. And then I like a little bit of chalk too. Again, I bet this guy right after the US Open, Tommy Fleetwood, 30-1. I'm seeing it's 28-1. 0 wins for this guy, so it feels like he's due, but he's been in contention. The last 4 events, he has 3 top 10s and 1 missed cut at the Travelers Championship, finished top 5 in the US Open with a massive 63 final round after carding a 73 on Thursday. So tends to figure out the course. I was on Tommy Fleetwood at the RBC Canadian Open, and we went to a playoff. He ultimately lost to Nick Taylor, the Canadian, who I had a top Canadian on him 6-1. So wasn't the best odds, would have preferred that Tommy Fleetwood won that event, but we also got like one of the best memes out of the RBC Canadian when Adam Hadwin went to congratulate Nick Taylor, his fellow Canadian, and got tackled to the ground. So I'm on Tommy Fleetwood again. He hasn't won an event, never once in his career, so why not pick him at the final major championship of the year?
Let us have it. Do you think the Bears have a fighting chance of winning the NFC North? They have the longest odds of anyone.
Yeah, I really don't think they do. I don't think Bears fans should expect that this season. I know everyone's excited about a lot of the upgrades they've made to the offensive line. I mean, a little bit to the defense and some of the position players with DJ Moore coming in, but I still don't think that they're going to be significantly better. Their win totals at 7.5. I would take the under on that. I think this is another year for Justin Fields to make some, see some growth in his game, start passing the ball a little bit more. I think if he wants to really solidify himself as the Bears quarterback of the future, especially because he wasn't brought in by this front office and this coaching staff, I think we need to see him throw upwards of 3,500 yards, something like that, maybe even 4,000. And with the weapons that the Bears have brought in, I don't think that's out of the picture, which then in that case, bet his over on his passing yards, which is at like 2,800 right now, I believe, over at BetMGM. So that'd be one way I would look at betting the Bears is props like that. And then game to game, I don't want to bet their bank on them going over their win total or anything like that. But I think that they can put up quite a few points. The downfall is going to be the Bears defense. I don't think they're going to be significantly better despite bringing in Tremaine Edwards and TJ Edwards and some other names this offseason. But they're going to give up a lot of points, but I also see them putting a lot of points on the board.
All right, Lucy, I have a bone to pick with you because apparently
Yes,
you are pinning your Patriots losing out on the DeAndre Hopkins sweepstakes because of clam chowder. And listen, I'm on the receiving end. We're the winning side. My Tennessee Titans landed D-Hop. So please tell me why you're pinning this on a soup.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Chelsa, because this is a big win for you and a loss for Patriots fans and the Patriots, because on his Threads account about a week ago, I haven't opened Threads in a while, but did for this thread, I'll quote thread it. He posted on his Threads that he ate pork for the first time in 8 years in Boston because he did not know the clam chowder had bacon in it. And that's bad vibes right there for him to have in Boston. And that probably was what sealed the deal on him not coming to Boston. It probably didn't matter how much money the Patriots offered him. Probably not at all. It was probably the bacon in the clam chowder. And I did a deep dive into restaurants in the area that he might have been taken to by someone who wants to impress him and wants him to come to Boston. Maybe in the Seaport area, there might be a restaurant that on the menu, it has clam chowder and says there is salt pork in it. So maybe somebody, I don't think he probably ordered this himself. I think he probably didn't even see the menu, probably didn't see what was in it. Nobody told him there was pork in it. That's on whoever did that. And that's the reason he's not with the Patriots, I believe. And that's the reason I no longer think they can win the division, which I did think at one point that they were going to get DeAndre Hopkins. What I was hearing was the Patriots were going to get him. And so I thought, okay, they're going to win the division just solely based on that. Now I don't think so. I think it will not be the Patriots anymore because they lost out because of the clam chowder factor, which was the downfall of maybe the Patriots as an organization because of this.